Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello. Excuse me. Hey. Give it a couple minutes. Hello, hello. Excuse me. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. I'm still struggling with it. It's gone. I'm like, I can't pull it in a ponytail, but sometimes that's just what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna be long today at all. So I wanted to talk about um taking back what the enemy has stole from me. We sing that song, and that's one of my jams. And so we sing that song, but we have to know that, and we know that the in John 10:10 it says the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So I thought about this, and I thought about, there's so many different angles which we can go with this. And of course, y'all got to know I'm going to talk about Job, but I'm going to talk about him a little bit different, because Job is an amazing story. There's so many things we can get out of Job. But what I wanted to talk about was, y'all not going to like this. Everything we lose is not because of the enemy. Some things we lose because of us, of our own disobedience. And if we go to Galatians chapter 6, 7 through 8, verses 7 through 8, it talks about God will not be mocked, and we reap what we sow. So every single thing we lose is not because it's a test. Some things just, you reap what you sow. You did some stuff, and now there's consequences to your actions. And we know that that wasn't the case with Job, but I wanted to point that out, that it's not always an attack. It's not always a test. Sometimes it's just you made some bad choices. And I'm struggling. I went to urgent care today, so bear with me. So Matthew 5, chapter 5, verses 10 through 12 says, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So we got to also know that when we, some things is because of persecution, because we choose to follow Christ. There is some consequences, earthly consequences of negative, but there's the blessing that we will get. But I also wanted to point out in that song, I thought about it because y'all know I want to be married, and I had to, some things we also come in agreement with. So when I'm singing, I'm gonna take back what the enemy has stole from me. I don't want that man. Like, I don't want that marriage again. So we got to be careful when we talking about taking back. Some stuff ain't good. It wasn't good. That's why it's gone. It might have hurt going through the separation of whatever that separation is, but it wasn't necessarily good for us to have in the beginning. And so, I want to keep that in mind. You lose a house. Let's say you foreclosed on your house and you get another house. You don't necessarily want that house back again. And maybe that was your dream house, but God had something else for you. So now I want to talk about Job. So in chapter 1, and this is a quick overview of Job. Like I said, I'm not going to keep you guys. The first encounter that we see with Satan and God is in Job 1:6-12. And this is where, we have to know that at this time, obviously Satan was able to go to heaven because God is up there and he's saying to Satan, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm just, trying to see whom I can devour. And God says, did you try my servant Job? And he said, oh, well, yeah, but Job has this, you got such a protection around Job. And he said, you can do everything you want to him, but you cannot kill him. You can't lay a hand on him. So Job, we know that now still in chapter 1, 13-22, he starts to lose everything. And we need to stop saying he lost everything, because he didn't lose everything. But his property, he lost his property. He lost his children. His children died. And the reason I say he didn't lose everything, because Job's wife didn't die. And if you recall, Job's wife saw him under all this pressure, and he said, you need to just curse God and die. And sometimes God keeps nay-naying them around you because they need to see how great God is. So the same person that said, curse God and die, she got to see God being God for him all over again. And so, like I said, I'm almost done. In Job 42:10, so now, Job's friends come, they like, you must have done something because God is too good to cause you to have all this trouble, right? And so then it says in Job 42:10, after Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. All his brothers and sisters and everyone who had known him before came and ate at his house. Now, I don't know where these brothers and sisters and cousins and everybody was at when he had boils all over his head and he was taking broken pottery and was trying to scratch himself. I don't know where they at. But now all of a sudden, life is coming back around and they here. And it says, they came to his house and ate with him. They comforted and consoled him over the trouble that God had brought on him. And each of them gave him a piece of silver and a gold ring. Okay, so now you done got a piece of silver and a gold ring from these people, but they was nowhere to be found before. And it says in verse 12, the Lord blessed the latter part of Job's life more than the former part. We got to know, that's what I'm saying. We got to be careful talking about, I want to take back what was stolen from me, because that whatever was back there is back there. There's something greater ahead. But if you still stuck on, I'm going to get this kind of car again. No, they right here though. I'm going to get this car. I'm going to get this, because these are the things you had in the past. you're stuck and you can't even get to what's ahead of you because you're too busy focusing on what you once had. And it said the Lord blessed us with the latter part more than the former. He had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. And he also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. The first, and then he starts naming, y'all know I'm gonna mess their names up, so I'm not gonna even say their name. But in 15, it says, now in the land where they found women as beautiful, there was nowhere in the land where they found daughters as beautiful as Job's daughters. And their father granted them the inheritance along with their brothers. So I wanted to say, and then Job was able to also live to see, he lived 140 years and saw his children and his children to the 4th generation. And Job died an old man full of years. So I just want to say, everything that was taken from us, it was punishment. Some stuff is for punishment. Some stuff was for a test. The thing about us is that we got to just stay consistent with who we are and know that whatever was taken, it was taken for a reason. Whatever we have, because God gives life and he takes life away. And we got to be okay that whatever was taken from me at this moment is going to be better. And there are going to be those around us that's going to be able, the very people who told us to curse God and die. Maybe we don't have people that say that, but then their actions are telling you to curse God and die, will be the very people that turn around and will be able to see you. Remember last week we talked about sitting at the right hand of God and just resting until he makes your enemies your footstool. That rest, the footstool is rest, the table is in his presence. So we got to be okay with that. We got to be okay that whatever was taken is gone. We can't get it back. It's like that. Your mama said, don't cry over that spilt milk. You can't go pour you another cup. And we got to be okay with just moving on. That's it, y'all. My voice is, my throat is on jam. So I hope you guys got some value from this. I hope that you look at it different, that every single thing that you go through is not, it's not always bad. It's all things. We know in Romans 8:28, all things, not some, not a few, all things work together for those that love the Lord. The issue is, if you finding a hard time believing that, then that might mean that you not one of them people that love the Lord. So now that's a heart condition that you and God got to work on. But if you truly are one of those that love the Lord and all things are going to work together, keep it moving, keep it stroking. You don't got to look back. Because when we look back, we'll be like Lot's wife. What happened to her? She looked back and she died. You know, she instantly turned into a pillar of salt because she was so busy worrying about what she was leaving behind. She didn't even know that there was a whole world that was about to be in front of her. God was making a way. So I will talk to you all next week, Lord's will. I'm about to drink some hot tea. So y'all have a good night. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.